I don't know what you do with this. I don't know what boxing's coming to. This is what happens when you manufacture a star instead of letting stars organically create themselves. You get guys who don't want to test themselves, who've been spoiled and have been able to, you know, make a lot of free money for no reason. The thing about Gervonta Davis is he is physically talented. I just don't think mentally he was ever that strong of a fighter.
So I guess Paulie Malignaggi got to get this work. The Tank Davis hate continues. I will prove it. And watch to the end of this video. I'll make it look easy. I found a contradiction that I thought you all should know about regarding Paulie Malignaggi and many of the Gervonta Tank Davis haters. So this video will explore the Gervonta Tank Davis hate, and I'll put it on full display so you get the clear picture. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I've talked about this, and I'm gonna keep doing it, and nobody's gonna do anything. I'm the Batman, the Bruce Wayne of boxing, and I gotta protect Gotham City. And what I've noticed is when it comes to Gervonta Tank Davis, he's kind of like this generation's Floyd Mayweather, where he seems to be the mantelpiece that everybody talks about to a fault. Like it'll be a podcast and it don't have nothing to do with Tank, and then the fighter will be like asked about Tank or I'll knock out Tank, and I'm like, where'd that even come from? But in this video specifically, I want to get to the bottom of it, because you got people like Paulie Malignaggi, who I'm gonna jump right into the mix. Paulie Malignaggi has been a longtime Gervonta Tank Davis hater. To give you guys proof of that, here's some old audio from Paulie Malignaggi, and then I'll be back to compare to something else, and I'll point out the contradiction.
I made my money, this and that, and I won't. Bro, what did you accomplish though? Just because it's funny, because people are so stupid today that they.
What did you accomplish? And he's talking about Gervonta Tank Davis. He's like, how could you be talking about retirement? This is a couple years ago, right? People are so stupid.
You think just because you told somebody makes money, it automatically merits that they're successful now. That's it. You're a success. And I get it. You can't be poor and be successful, because then it's not a good look. But money is not the be-all end-all for success, even though people are brainwashed to think so. So they threw you a bunch of money, but you don't have a single Hall of Famer on your resume. Not one. And you're talking about you're retiring because you just accomplished it all. Dude, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Wild to me. That's wild to me.
Do you think that?
If I was in Gervonta Davis's weight class in my career, and I had the exact opposition Gervonta Davis had, I wouldn't have as many knockouts, but I'd be undefeated.
Wow. So he's saying Gervonta Davis's resume is weak, and if he had the exact same resume as Tank Davis, he wouldn't have as many knockouts, but he would be undefeated. Where did you get that from? You're older than these dudes. You're in a different generation, so that's pure hyperbole and subjective at best. Notice people like Paulie Malignaggi, they have these weird analogies and comparisons, and then they'll state it like it's fact.
I wouldn't have as many knockouts, right? And that's the resume we're talking about. We've just turned into a pay-per-view star. Now, could it be because of knockouts? Possibly. I'm not hating on that. Can legitimately punch.
Oh, you are.
But he's got so much ability. Why can't I see him against somebody like him so that I can see, does he have character behind the ability? Or is he spineless? Does he quit? You know, why can't I see him? Because he's at the level now where I should be able to know that. Right. You know, that's what makes them special. That's what made Ray Leonard special.
Wow. So is he spineless? Asking if, and again, Gervonta Davis had plenty of fights by this time and had been a champion, and you're questioning, is he a quitter or is he spineless? Wow.
He went through the difficulty of fighting at Tommy Hearns with these kind of B-level matchups just because they're called pay-per-views, and you say you masquerade them as something special, you know?
Do you think
getting to the point where somebody's undercards are better than the main events? It was either there or it wasn't. Right. And nobody has it. So Like Gervonta, I don't know. Like again, Gervonta's very popular. He is very popular, and he's swaggy to a degree. But here, Gervonta talk. Does he give you any catchphrases? Did he give you any quotes that you're like, whoa, headline? Like Ali, for example, used to. Like you don't get that, bro. You know what I mean? You don't get that. You don't see that. It's with boxing. So I don't know, man. It's if you're gonna try to stage this on me, bro, I'll go watch WWE. I don't need to watch boxing where you're gonna tell me it's not staged and it's and I'm watching you trying to stage it in front of me. But he's a good kid, okay, from what I remember. But you can generate a star. You can manufacture with today's weapons, as far as technological weapons. You can manufacture my Jordans into stars, like my Jordan, my left sneaker can become a star. And with today, if you just push it, right? So today I feel like people just get chosen. Remember when I fought Broner?
So that is just one interview from Paulie Malignaggi, and as you heard, he was totally hating on Gervonta Davis, talking about you can manufacture a star. My left sneaker would be a star because of the machine. If you push, social media, promoters, they can create this. Okay, so name the star on Zuffa Boxing. They got money behind them. They got a machine behind them. Who watched F.A. Ajagba's fight with Charles Martin? Who watched Jai Opataya's fight? Why is Jai Opataya, he was promoted by Eddie Hearn, now Dana White, who y'all say is so great in boxing, right? Why is he not this big, huge star if what he's saying is true, right? Or we'll take it back to people who have been in boxing longer. How come Keyshawn, Shakur, Devin Haney, they have different accomplishments, moved up in weight, and I got a belt, oh, blobbity blue blah, blobbity blue blah. I ain't hear a word you said, hibbity hoopla, right? They got these belts and, I'm undisputed, youngest undisputed. Some of them, like Keyshawn, is like constantly in your face, especially recently doing streams and stuff. How come he not bigger than Gervonta Davis, right? He got knockouts. He just knocked out Jermaine Ortiz, who had never been knocked out, right? But I digress. Now let me compare so you guys understand. That was one Paulie hating interview where he was talking about Gervonta Davis, right? You can manufacture a star. Tank don't have no personality, questioning his character. If the going got tough, is he a quitter? Is he spineless, right? His resume is horrible. I could beat everybody that he beat and I would be undefeated just without that many knockouts. Meanwhile, keep in mind, this is the same man who's fighting in bare knuckle now, right? And his face is all tattered up, cut. You still see like damage on his eyes from bare knuckle, and he's about to do a bare knuckle. So Mr. MAGA Man, Paulie Malignaggi, the hate is seeping out, and it looks like jealousy and envy. You keep talking about money, you pocket watch it. Oh, these guys, you feel like I'm from an era, I had to fight Cotto, I had to fight Amir Khan or whatever, Broner, to get my coin, and you're looking at this new generation and you're like, man, why are he making so much money? And that's what you see from a lot of old fighters. They feel like, why wasn't I bigger? Why wasn't I getting the... That's why you see a lot of the older generation fighters come back to fight again, right? Oliver McCall, Riddick Bowe, I think, tried to fight again. Floyd coming back. Pacquiao. Now, Floyd and Pacquiao, they're legends and anomalies. Paulie Malignaggi doing bare knuckle. Austin Trout, Jamel Herring doing bare knuckle, right? You're starting to see a lot of people, and they're like, man, the money's here, so it don't matter their age. They're just trying to get a paycheck. So you come across as hating. But now, the contradiction I promised. How come all of these Gervonta Davis haters keep talking about Tank's resume is poor, but everybody else in boxing wants to fight people Tank already fought? Answer that. Shakur's like, I'll fight Lamont Roach. Shakur called out Pitbull Cruz. Didn't Tank already fight that? Shakur jumped in and was like, I'll fight Ryan Garcia. Come to find out, he want weight stipulations that he tried to clown Tank for, right? So it's not really making sense. You have Keyshawn called out Pitbull Cruz. Keyshawn keep clout chasing Tank's name, right? Keyshawn doing face-offs with Ryan. Devin Haney, right? Devin Haney fought Ryan Garcia after Tank already knocked him out and made him quit, right? Devin Haney also is in the process of trying to finalize a fight with Rolly. Now, speaking of Rolly and Devin Haney, now listen to what Paulie Malignaggi is saying about that.
Devin outboxes him. You know, I've heard people say easy,
It's
but
interesting. It's a good fight. Listen, I think Rolly gets very underestimated, but obviously Devin is a very good boxer. You know, you probably favored Devin in the fight. But Rolly's no slouch. You know, Rolly was up against Gervonta Davis before he got knocked out.
Now the man is saying Rolly is he's no slouch. He gets underestimated, and Rolly is a capable fighter. And now you're trying to build up a Devin Haney fight. But when Tank fought the undefeated Rolly, Tank is 5'5" versus Devin Haney rehydrates 20 to 30 pounds and is either bigger than Rolly or pretty comparable in size. Now it's all of a sudden a good fight. Bro, boxing is fake, I try to tell y'all.
Rolly is a fighter who can punch a little bit. He's got a win over Ryan Garcia, who's now the reigning WBC champion. So, you know, I think you underestimate Rolly at your own peril. He's an interesting guy, but I think an awkward guy that can punch is always dangerous.
Bro, now there's all of a sudden this love for people. Frank Martin just knocked out Rances Barthélemy with pretty much single shots brutally earlier this year, and then just beat Nair Albright. Now he in the last round he got caught slipping, but still, or it was a draw. I forgot what it was, but either way, it was a good fight. I think it was a draw, ended in a draw. But now all of a sudden, Tank's resume is horrible, they say, but then after, people are praising Ryan Garcia versus Barrios, his performance, or when he beat Devin Haney initially. So why is it that you got people like Paulie Malignaggi hating on Tank and saying Tank really ain't him, right? Gervonta Davis, his resume is not impressive at all. He's not fighting any Hall of Famers, but then fighter after fighter after fighter all want to fight people that Tank already fought. And most of them outside of Lamont Roach, which was a draw, he beat. Now all of a sudden we're giving credit for Ryan being the champion. When Devin went to fight Ryan Garcia, now it's a banger. When Devin, another Tank leftover, when he's in the process of finalizing a Rolly fight, notice the Haneyacks. They're like, oh, it's a great fight. Rolly's dangerous. This is the fight we want. Really, Devin should be fighting Ryan Garcia, another guy that Tank Davis beat by knockout when he was undefeated. And he did it as the smaller person. So I keep proving these people are haters. The Haneyacks, the Paulie Malignaggi fans, Shakurians, they're haters. Their fans are haters because you've had whole main events, Pitbull Rolly, Devin, you know, he ended up fighting Tank's leftovers in Rolly, but some of the fights that were made were two Tank leftovers, Barrios and Ryan. Those are two people that Tank knocked out, right? Lamont Roach and Pitbull Cruz. You have the fight between Pitbull and Rolly. That's three fights where the main event is comprised of two people Tank already fought. But then the same people will tell you, oh, his resume is so thin and horrible, and I don't see why you guys like him and this and that. Now Paulie Malignaggi's objective and giving Rolly props. But before I let you listen to it, he's saying that Tank's resume is pretty much horrible, and he would have easily beat all the people. But now Rolly can punch, and that's always going to be a danger. Come on, bro. You can't make this stuff up. Y'all hating big time. So like I said, all of a sudden, Ryan can call out Pitbull Cruz. Shakur can call out Ryan, guy Tank already fought. Shakur can fight and call out Lamont Roach. And some of these fights aren't even happening. Shakur can want to fight with all these people that Tank already fought, most of which he beat, and everything is peachy keen. But when Tank fought these guys, it was a problem. So I have essentially proven my point very easily that these people are hating. You can't say somebody has a terrible resume and then everybody wants to fight the people he already beat. So let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. But it's laughable, and coming from a person who is reduced to bare knuckle fighting as a boxer, damaging his eye and stuff, it's really ironic that Paulie Malignaggi would take this angle, and it just makes him look like he's envious of Tank Davis. Like, what does he have that y'all like so much?